Hello, everybody with Midland, Texas. Today is election day. We're going to be electing a new sheriff, also a new district attorney. Here, I'm just going to talk about the sheriff. I did a write-up on Facebook. It's real short. I said we have three choices. We have Criner, McKinney, and Justin Painter. I've contacted each of them with evidence on the crimes and murders connected with the now not-so-secret underground homes without getting a response. On the last election for sheriff, I was talking to Sheriff Candidate Joe Lozano, who was running on a platform of removing corruption, and we're talking about the underground homes. He stops me and says, "Buddy, that was Painter's hideout." He didn't know that I was recording the phone call. I made this into a video which went viral, but it was hidden from the public by our press. After the election, Joe was arrested, and I suspected that he was framed because of what he told me. McKinney was Painter's right-hand man and deputy chief. He's running for sheriff now. I've suspected that he had also been in the underground homes too, and I've wondered about Justin, who's Painter's son. I actually shook his hand and met him at the gun show, and you should have seen the look on his face when I told him who I was. I'm Buddy Webb. Anyway, multiple people are now documented saying these underground homes are here with many details. Based on old Google Maps, I believe that one of the 4 3-bedroom safe houses, which were put in for the Bushes in 1987 with the budget on permit for $7.35 million, is located in my backyard behind the Home Depot store. Tisha Brumley told me that the oil show parties were held in the underground homes, and Aaron Packerhofer told me there had been 4 people murdered, died here, for somebody under my home cut my phone lines and shot me. It's elections day. Y'all go vote. Okay, so we're going to look at some of this evidence. This is some of the stuff that I was sending these candidates for our sheriff, and I think they know and they're ignoring it. Okay, here, let me.
Well, I wanted to reach out to you. I don't know if did your son pass on that information?
That's how I found out about you.
Okay. I secretly recorded a woman on the phone who told me there were 4 3-bedroom underground homes that are 25 foot deep, and each of them cost over $1 million. She told me they were having pedophile parties in these underground homes. This is posted to my YouTube channel, that phone call. Another woman told me that she worked on the underground project, which was finished in 1987 while Bush was vice president. The Bushes are from Midland and were in the oil field business. She said the total project cost was $7.35 million. I have a screenshot of her telling me this. A guy named Ricky Ronaldo tells me that he used to live in my home, and him and his brother used to go in the tunnels under it. I have a screenshot of him saying this. A woman named Rhonda Denman Rogers tells me that the underground facility is a half block away, and I also have a screenshot of this statement. She didn't say it was 1.5 blocks, so she knew exactly where it was at.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, huh?
Buddy, that was Painter's hideout thing.
That was Painter's hideout thing. That's what Joe Lozano, he was running for Midland Sheriff, and then after the election, after he lost, they arrested him. And I believe it was because he told me that. Okay, here I'm going to go through some of this evidence. Old Google Maps showed a large bunker in my backyard on the map screen that could not be seen from above ground on the satellite screen. I notified the city of Midland about this, and it was deleted a week later. Obviously, this is one of the 4 underground homes I was told about. As seen, Tisha Brumley told me that the oil show parties were going on down there, and Jessica Hadley told me there had been more than one girl raped or murdered at oil show parties because she didn't do whatever they wanted to do. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is the old Google Maps right here. My address, 3802 Faird Circle. Satellite screen showed nothing in the backyard, but the map screen showed a large building in my backyard. I'm right behind the Home Depot store, okay? That's obviously one of the 4 underground homes. Tisha Brumley says, yeah, I've had friends gone to oil show parties. They're exactly what you say, they're underground homes. And Jessica Hadley says, I've been to a lot of oil show parties. There's more than one girl murdered or raped there that didn't do whatever they wanted her to do, okay? While looking at historical Google Maps, I found what I believe to be a tunnel going from the Home Depot store to my home. Obviously, this was used for the people going to the underground parties. I showed this to Homeland Security in 2019. 2 weeks later, the ground was dug up and concrete was poured, which I got on video. It went viral. After this video went viral, Senior Congressman Mike Conaway from Midland announced his resignation. Come to find out, his brother-in-law used to live across the street from my home. You think it's connected? Oh, yeah, it's connected. You could see where they cut the tunnel coming from the Home Depot. I showed Homeland this. It went right to my home. In the backyard's one of the underground homes, where one of the parties were one of the 4 underground homes. After I showed Homeland, they poured concrete, and here's Mike Conaway announced his retirement. July 30th, July 17th, and this was on July 2nd when I met Homeland back there. This woman told me there were 4 3-bedroom $1 million underground homes that were buried at least 25 foot deep. Let's listen to this.
Was talking about, it was not 1 million, it was actually 4, and they're actually homes.
That are underground?
3-bedroom, yes, they're 3-bedroom homes. How the building's underground.
She told me a lot more too. You know how it's connected to a guy in, I believe, Artesia, town near Hobbs, starts with an A. They're buried at least 25 foot deep, and you know, and other things on that phone call. A CAD programmer who worked for PBK told me that she worked on this underground safe house project that was put in for the Bushes in '87. The Bushes are from Midland, with a budget on permit for $7.35 million. An attempt was made to get a copy of those permits, but the city said they had been accidentally deleted. Back in '87, when it was said these were built, George H.W., the father, was vice president under Reagan. That's how long ago it was, you know. And I believe these crimes have been going on ever since. Here's a print screen from Layla Gail O'Brien. $7.35 million on permit, the cost of the project. It used to be called Safe Houses. It was the Safe House project. She worked for BBK. She was a CAD programmer. Okay. Here's a picture of President Bush and Sheriff Gary Painter, okay? And that's real interesting because it was said the underground homes were put in for the Bushes, and Painter was said it was his hideout, his hangout, okay? This lady told me that the word around town is the underground game rooms here, aka illegal casinos that's used by high rollers, okay? Word here in Midland is that there's a game room here that all the officials go to, and you know, bet money, and you know, win money, and whatever else there that goes down there. And you know what it is. I know what it is. I won't say it on this video because they'll kick me off social media. Don't try to stop crime with social media. This guy told me that he asked his friend about the basement under the Home Depot store, and she told me that it was dangerous to talk about that, you know. I mentioned a basement being on the Midland Home Depot to a girl I know. Her first response is, "How do you know this? Be careful who you're telling this to. How it's dangerous. You need to be careful who you're talking to about that, because they'll break in your home, cut your phone lines, shoot you, and use Midland police to cover up your murder." That's what she's talking about. Sylvia Flores told me that she went to Lee High School and she would get invited to the tunnel parties behind the Home Depot store. See, the thing about print screens is, you know, you can go back and you can subpoena Facebook and go, "Did Sylvia say this on this date?" "Yep, she did." "Okay, well, why did you say that, Sylvia?" "Because it's true." I remember back at Lee High School being invited to the tunnel parties behind the Home Depot. That's where I live, behind the Home Depot. Okay. Flo Rivers told me that her son and his friends heard kids under the floor of the Home Depot store. My son works at the Home Depot, and his co-workers heard kids underneath the bathroom floor. The bathroom floor looks right where that tunnel's coming to my house in the Home Depot store. That's right where it is. Aaron Packover told me there had been 4 people murdered, died in my house. He said, "But I can ask, there were 4 people murdered, died in your house. What are their names?" He's asking me their names. He knows their names, though, doesn't he? I believe the previous owner is one of them. It looks like they're killing one homeowner after another. Innocent people, that report crimes of Midland police, now they're dead, you know. Ricky Ronaldo said he and his brother used to go in the tunnels under my home when they lived here. Got a print screen of it. You can't deny it, right? I used to live in that house years ago. When I was a kid, there were tunnels under the house. Me and my brother would always go down there. Down there. We know what's going down there, okay? In January 2012, I was shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut. A premeditated capital murder attempt left me crippled without a job. My name smeared. That's me crawling out. That's the 911 call from the 7-Eleven I laid on top of it. I didn't know if I was going to live or die. It was panic. In 2019, I found a copy of the police report back from the murder attempt in 2012. They had withheld it from me. It timestamped 5 Midland police officers, Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Angel, and Hale, that were seen, that were listed as being at or in my home and wasn't seen arriving on the security cameras. That's what told me they were under my home. I believe they came in from the Home Depot tunnel, and that's the police report right there. And it's, it's showing me I was crawling out. Woodward Naylor shows up. Matt Davis is here, not seen. Tony Dickey's inside my house, not seen arriving. Chatwell, Hale, and Angel, all not seen. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.